Yeah. So, in final, you have two targets. You have two different audience. Let's say, which is difficult, not difficult, or a little bit challenging because generally company have only one audience, which are their client. You have technically both, and you try to create this bridge between them. For you, which is the most difficult one to handle?
Challenging, I would
Challenging.
say.
It's
The most challenging, I think that I don't see any challenge.
and okay.
I love conviction.
Okay.
So I think that when you convince people, they are ready to hear and they are ready to listen. So sometimes you can speak to someone that doesn't listen and that is not interested, and it's useless.
Yeah.
So as I said, use your energy
Okay.
towards the right goal, the right people ready to open, people ready to do something. So I don't see, to be honest, any challenge. It's just about where's the audience that can listen and that can be convinced, if convinced, because it can be for some people that look like not interesting, for them. But people that it can touch, that they can understand really, that it can change things, they can drive transformation, the organization that can rely on these profiles to boost the transformation, it's not a challenge then.
Okay.
So for me, that's how I deal with things, and that is how I see things.
Oh, nice.
Conviction first, because then you believe in yourself, you believe in your ideas, you have this also inner energy to fight, I would say, or I would say put forward and challenge your own ideas. So then you bring that to the world, to the organization, and wherever there's someone that is attracted by this idea, convinced by this idea, there's something to do. But you can have a lot of other people that will say, what is it about? I'm not interested.
So it depends on people at the end.
Sure.
Always depend on people in both sides.
Always.
Okay.
Always.
Let's go back to the idea. You said that you had this idea when you were working. How many years did it take for you to actually make it concrete and start your company?
The idea of being entrepreneur, it's been a while.
Okay.
I've always,
I don't even remember.
I was born.
Maybe
with
I
it.
was young. I don't know. Because I could feel that I had this energy of building, and I've always been within companies an entrepreneur, as we say now.
Yeah.
But always, okay, Sabrina, can you do that? Okay, great. And it's empty field, and then I can build something. And I often say that you have two kind of people: the one that build things and the one that maintain things.
Okay.
They are not the same profiles.
Yes.
I was part of the business. Both are great because we need builders, we need people to maintain things, but I was part of the builder part, and I had this inner energy. I could feel that I wanted to build things and set up new things and new ideas and create and blah blah. So I had this inside of me, but as I said, I went to companies and I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Because I needed to be an employee, of course, getting an income like everyone, I would say, that starts. And then so with the experience, understanding the organization and getting my maturity also, because it's not about like, okay, I want to build something. It's about I am ready to.
Absolutely.
Because I can face then. Everything, the positive and the
negative.
Because it's never easy to start something new. It's always easier to be in a company, in a box, and say, okay, I want to do that, I have to do that, and you give what you are expected to. Now it's all relying on yourself. So it's a different mindset. So this idea came, I would say, has already been inside of me. But when I had this, I would say, revelation, with this experience with my colleague. It took me, I would say, 1.5 years, 2 years.
Wow, it was fast. It was fast decision from your part.
Well, it depends. You can see it as a long time before, or you can say it as.
The moment she did have the idea, it was very fast. It was good. You did act on it, which is because you did feel it. You did have it.
It was time.
Yeah, it's.
Okay.
Time.
Yeah,
So,
nice.
how much did you work on the idea before launching your company? Because there are people who just, I have a great idea, I should start it tomorrow, and there are people who like, let me think about, let me try like doing, starting it as a side project and then making it bigger and etc. So, how was it for you?
I had a lot of work in my company, so it was in the company I was working for.
Yeah,
So it was very complicated for me to be on both sides.
absolutely.
So my energy was highly involved in the company I was working for, because this level of inner energy that you always have and giving the best of yourself, so you cannot give half or 10%, it's always 100 or more.
Yeah.
But once I took this decision and I was, I would say, clear and I had more time, I would say 6 months. 6 months to really build the approach and how I wanted things to be done.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay, perfect.
Because yeah, we are different in this also. I am more, I think more a lot. I try to analyze, and she acts better than me.
We are
Faster,
the
let's say.
kind. If
Yeah.
we started two separate companies, I would have started my company a year ago, and my brother would have started in 5 years. We were like, he is in the let's analyze things, let's make sure the
Yeah.
process is clear and everything. And me, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure this idea will work. I've done like my homework real quick, and let's start tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the balance. So we try to find like make it halfway, find a balance between
Yeah.
both of us, and we agreed on like doing.
Yeah, I did start the company, and
Yeah.
we did merge together in a certain way.
Yes, absolutely. So yeah, and how did you feel once it was official?
When you did feel that the more it's the idea, it's concrete, it's coming, you think, this is it, I will do it, and
And the day
I need to do
you
it.
launched it, actually.
That's a never-ending process. I
Okay.
think. That's a never-ending process because you're always thinking of the next part and the
Yeah.
next step and so on. And to
Absolutely.
be honest, I have another project that I am launching, also another company. So
Yes.
Okay.
and once it started, I think that it never stops because ideas. Once you allow your ideas and you give
Go
birth,
wild.
yeah, and you are able by yourself to give birth to your ideas and to implement them.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending process, I think. So of course there's a point where you think and you come to a point where you say, okay,
Start
now
executing.
I'm ready. It's not, I think, that you launch, it's I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Now
yeah.
I know what I want to do, my road is clear, I know what I want to go, I can go.
Oh my God.
That's, for me, that's the point that, and when you are really, because sometimes you can set up a company and not really be sure you want to go fast, and I meet a lot of entrepreneurs that are younger and some others that are less, not that young, but they have always this thing that they did it like that, they didn't
Yeah.
really think about it, and when you ask questions, they're just like, okay, what are you telling me about?
Yeah.
So that you can feel that it's not really mature for themselves,
Yes.
but still it's okay. I think that you can build something
Yeah.
like that. This is not
Yeah.
a problem. But when you are someone that really has a vision
Ah,
and a high level of I would say commitment, but also a high level of quality, because you want to provide the highest quality. You don't want to bring something that is not really wow, I
Mature.
would say, yeah. So it takes some time for that. Look at the iPhone. I think that if Steve Jobs took,
Yeah, did it
I can do
faster.
that. Okay, the apps will say that after. So he had this vision and he did it. So this process of thinking, building your vision, being clear on your roadmap, it can take some time. And once you say you're ready, you can now implement and use your energy because you cannot think too much.
Absolutely.
That's the problem of the singular people. Sometimes they think too
much.
and the implementation is really tough because that's the mind, but you have the reality there. And when you have this in mind and the reality is there, it's really, really stressful to try and get things into the box.
Absolutely.
So that's come to
Yeah.
a point where you say, okay, this later, but this is important, this is my vision, I will concentrate on that first, and then I will extend my vision. I have the vision, that's okay.
Yeah.
I will start with this, and then I will extend it and develop it, because time is key. You cannot
Yeah.
do everything at once, of course.
So,
Yeah.
so do you think? Yeah, this is really interesting.
Because
I-
just in our case, like for me, although I did start compare, very young compared to my career itself, but I did start thinking about entrepreneurship, not entrepreneurship in general, my company, since I was in high school. Since I was in high school, I did pass from a phase where I question everything in Word and everything. So the moment I did decide, okay, I need to have one thing, and this is my legacy. Let's say that's why we did call the company in a way my legacy. When the moment I did decide this is my legacy, I said, okay, how can I get to my legacy? And I start doing that, like reverse engineering, and see how I can get there. And I did start step by step. The milestones are always there, but how to get there is different. It depends, because the reality is different from where you think. And I did go. That's why I did went to university, saying that I want to study that. That's why I did try to do like a double degree and so on, so I can learn new ideas. And it was like that until the moment I said, okay, I cannot hold it anymore. I cannot wait anymore. And it was perfectly with my sister, very synchronized. So I said, okay, let's do it now or
Let's
never.
join, because yes, he had his vision, his goals, and I had mine, and we discussed both.
For a whole year.
And we felt like we can work together to reach our respective goal, while getting our company to grow and do a lot of things in the process. So the vision starts. How can I say? You have like a goal to do something, let's say, but how you do it gets shaped along the way.
Exactly.
Actually, so sometimes I say, okay, you don't have to know exactly the way, or let's say the process, like the perfect process to get to your goal, but it will get shaped along the way, and your goal also will be, you know the core that you want to get to, let's say, but the bigger image gets shaped along the way. So
Absolutely.
Yeah,
No,
and-
that's really,
yeah.
that's it.
And it worked perfectly, because we have. I said always. I said a lot of people who see us, like for example, she have her husband, and sometimes we work at her house because it's big.
Most of the time,
Most
since
of the
the
time.
quarantine.
Since the quarantine, and we did take advantage of quarantine too. I did went there so we can work night and morning, and from exterior people say how you are working together. We have the same philosophy, the same vision, but when we execute we have different approach.
We have different personalities. We have different approaches.
And I see it like a beneficial thing, because a lot
sometimes
of things.
Sometimes we argue a lot about the way things should be done, but we have the same goal, like long term and short term goals.
Yeah, and philosophy.
And the culture, the culture of the company, the way we want things to be in like 5-10 years. But we are different in executing, I would say. So I want to know if you worked with someone and find difficulties.
I think the point is, when you are launching your company, you have a kind of responsibility.
Yeah.
And you are driving, you are the leader. So when you have 2, 3, 4, 5 people launching at the same time, like you, both of you are launching it together, I think the vision needs to be the same. There needs to be a kind of, I would say, empathy, one between each other. Like not fighting, not trying to be enemies, but trying to always match the vision. Equality also is key.